I did. If you didn't know, they gave me the day off, man. That was awesome. So I enjoyed it. Got to be with the family a little bit. So fun times.
Any special dinner or anything before or afterwards?
A couple nights before, we all went out to eat, but they made me a brownie, like a big brownie.
Okay.
My wife and kids, and they blew out the candles. It was a good time. We enjoyed it. They ate all the brownies too, so they enjoyed that.
It looked like in the scrimmage, of course the games as well, but the scrimmage on Saturday, the buy-in level is pretty high. Players seem invested. At this point in your career, what does that mean for you? I gotta imagine you enjoy just the fact that guys want to like be out there and play hard.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, that's an important part of any team at whatever stage you are in is, can everybody, buy into the same thing, believe the same thing, and there's a lot of coaches that are preaching the same thing. It's just a matter of the players are all going to hold each other accountable and say, no, we're going to do it, we're going to do it right, and have fun while doing it. So being with a young group definitely helps. They're in, like I said, they're in trying to do extra, trying to work hard at every little aspect of the game, and it's fun and to be a part of that kind of environment.
Are you able to step back and kind of look at your career, I guess, and appreciate those things in a way you probably couldn't have earlier?
Oh, for sure. I haven't been in this situation in a very long time, and to have had so many years, last 7 or 8 years or so, just you're constantly just your goals have been a certain thing. The focus when you come into training camp has been a certain thing, and here you've had to kind of like take a few steps back and just kind of sit back and you know retool everything, kind of brand what you're trying to do and what you're trying to be on the court as a team. And a lot of the stuff is some of it's new to me. With Will coming in, I'm learning new things, and but that's the fun part. You just continue to grow. I'm growing, with these young guys, and especially in a leadership role, just trying to be as good as I can for them.
Is that hard to like kind of recalibrate those expectations from like championship aspirations to kind of being essentially a player coach?
Yeah, it's tough, because those are always in your mind, especially at this stage of my career. You constantly think about winning. That's all you care about, and even now, like it's we're not preaching championship this year, but winning still like an everyday thing that we can do. Go out there and try to win a game, or win a practice or a scrimmage, and the competition portion of it's still there for me. So I'm just going to try to do that as much, as good as I can for as long as I can, and help these guys as much as I can.
Given that, just that you do have to kind of adjust expectations, given the team made huge changes. As a player who's on the actual team, is it difficult to kind of hear that outside stuff about this team's tanking and this team looking to maximize draft position, like you're the team,
Right.
You're in the among the guys who are working hard.
Yeah, it's really tough because we don't have that mindset, and it's hard to you can't function in any culture coming in trying to lose, or that's going to set you back even further. When the time does come, when the team is ready to compete at that level, and so for us, it's trying to block it out. We're going to do what we can on a nightly basis to put ourselves in positions to win. Obviously, we know it's an uphill battle. It's going to be tough. We're so young. We have a lot of guys who need to develop, and a lot of different roles that will be hashed out as the year goes on. But we're going to just continue to do our job. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people say. At the end of the day, we have to go out there and work.
JC said that he's kind of had to become a more leader, that he's at least more so than he normally wants to feel. How have you kind of seen him be different this training camp versus the last few years?
Honestly, whether it's not so much as vocal leader, you see him on the court, he's playmaking a lot. He's making extra passes for guys, doing things that, I don't think he's really even had to do throughout his career. Mostly you just go out there and say, JC, go score, go score, go score. And now it's like, hey, we got a lot of guys that can do that. We need more, ball movement or whatever. And he goes out there and he does it. And his ability to adjust to that, his ability to kind of, reform himself, reshape himself around that idea, is leadership in itself. And he's been awesome.
Is it just me, or is like you guys running less kind of high ball screen stuff than last year? And I guess what is it that you guys want to do with that versatility?
Yeah, we're not, trying to funnel ourselves into strictly pick and roll team. We can run it. We think with our versatility, with our size, especially with Lowry and Kelly and, Vando, all those guys around the perimeter who are quick. And, we figure we can throw it to them, let them make decisions, dribble handoffs, a lot of off-ball screen actions, and really just try to run a lot. I think with a young team, it's easier to, say get a stop and run, and guys will run as fast as they can and go get a bucket on the other end of the court. So if we can, do that better than we've done in the last, few weeks, that'll be more of who we want to be. And then I think as the year goes on, we'll figure out what works, with different groups and what works with different guys. Obviously, I love pick and roll and being in as much as I can, but figuring out the guys and where people like the ball and where everybody can be effective is kind of like where we're at right now.
Will made an interesting comment there. You have a bunch of guys who can beat somebody off the bounce, but then they got to figure out how to help their teammates once they do it.
Yeah.
Well, can you take me back to, I don't know, 12 years ago, 13 years ago? Like, when you came in, you were lightning quick.
Mm-hmm.
What is the process of learning, okay, I beat the guy, but now I actually have to not just score, but help make other guys better? What is the process?
It takes time. I've literally said that every single day to 4 or 5 of the guys is like, slow down. Like, you already beat them with your first step. At that point, you have to now read the rest of the game. We've got so many guys who are quick and athletic that they beat a guy and first thing they do is get to the rim and they jump. And then when they get up there and there's a 7-footer, it's like, oh, what do I do? And we get stuck sometimes. And, I even working with Colin this morning, we were just working on literally jump stops in the middle of the paint and like 2 pump fakes and fake pass out, finish a floater or pass it out to the corner, like stuff like that just allows the game to be slower for you. And your mind won't race as much. As a young guy, you're so used to using your athleticism to get by with pretty much everything because it was good enough. And once you're here, it's kind of not.
Are you let's say if you do a Nash or a search dribble, are you predetermining that beforehand? Do you know that you're doing that, or is that a read as you're going, taking the information to read that that's the right play?
Yeah, it's literally just you're writing the book as it goes. There's a blank page when you come off a pick and roll, and you look up and you read the defenders on the backside. You read the guy guarding you. You don't really read as much the guy who got screened because you figure he's getting screened and he's out of the play, and now it's just looking behind that and seeing what avenues and lanes are open. And but you got to be looking to do that. You can't be with your head down. You can't be thinking I'm just trying to score or predetermining anything. So it's just really trying to read and react to what's given to you.
If you don't mind, Professor Conley, I'll take one more question. So I've heard that if you pick and roll on the side, you only have to make one read, but if you're coming up from the top, you're making 2 or 3. Can you explain that to me from a point guard's eyes?
Well, from the side, if it's empty, so if you got a side pick and roll, which we've run a lot of those, you're really reading just the closest defender, help defender, who you either split and get to the middle of the paint. If he doesn't help, obviously you get there. If he helps, you advance the ball. Once you get to the paint, now you're reading the big, who would be, say, guarding a rim roller on our team, whoever that may be. If they drop back, you got a floater layup. If they commit to you, bounce pass, lob. So fairly simple. Down the middle, there's a lot more involved. Spacing is different. You can have 2 defenders, help defenders on either side, including the middle pick and roll action. So guy rolls, you got to read the top guy if he helps, or the bottom guy if he helps. If nobody helps, it's just 2-on-2 with you and the big going down the middle. So it can be tricky if you are not used to doing it. Because in the middle of it all, you still got to be looking to score. You still got to find your opportunities to make a play. So there's a bunch of reads you can make. Yeah.
Do you anticipate wanting to be around basketball when your playing career is done?
It's not out the picture. I don't know if I'll be a good coach or anything, but I told them young guys, I said, I don't know if I can coach you guys. I don't think I got the patience. Because they're like my kids in a sense. I don't know if I could coach them, but we'll see. One day I might just wake up and make that decision.
Could you coach your kids one day?
I might be too hard, man. I don't know if I could. Yeah, I want them to have fun and enjoy the sports and like me when they grow up, you know. So I don't know.
Kind of to that point, we've heard from a couple of the guys that some of the rookies and young guys on this team are not timid about asking questions. They ask a lot and they seek out help a lot. Is that, I guess, different from what you've seen in some rookie classes that have come through on teams you've been on?
It is. Well, this is actually really my, first experience with so many young guys, let alone rookies. You know, the rookies are very intelligent and very in tune with, trying to get better. But as a whole, like I said, you still got like Colin, you still got Nikhil, you still got Jared, the guys who've been around the league a little bit who are still asking questions. So like, it's just, it's a lot, I'm getting one every other like 2 minutes about something. And, but it's fun, it's really cool, just them reaching out and knowing that they trust you and your opinion. And so I'm always trying to pull them aside and teach them 1 or 2 things that can help them, develop a little bit faster.
Is it surprising to see guys like Damon or Jet coaching after their careers?
Not surprising. I think a lot of those guys, once you played against them and you get to know them a little bit, you know how much they love the game and how they're always around it in some capacity. Jet's been awesome to be around. I've known him only through playing, but now I've gotten to really know him as a coach, friend, and just really the passion that they all have for the game. Really kind of shows so much when we're competing. They're the loudest ones in the gym. Just they're acting as if they're playing. They're talking trash. They're involved, and that's really cool to see that.
You said Damon Sotomayor was your veteran when you were.
Yeah,
Is he in Boston now? Is that where he is?
Yeah, he was assistant at Boston last I remember. He had a little coaching job in college there for a little bit, but he was my vet when I came in. He was somebody I look up to, and I'll never forget like my first few days in the locker room. It was my locker, and then I was right next to Damon, and they had a stool, like a little step stool. I was like, what is that? And it said Mighty Mouse on the bottom of it. It was so he could get to his like top of his locker. And I was like, what? Oh my God. Like, it was like so funny to me, but it was pretty cool and neat to see that, the sense of humor and just the kind of guy he was, and he didn't care about none of that. And being smaller guard, he was perfect guy for me to kind of, mold myself, my game around. And honestly, he's been coaching me even till this day. He'll text me on some things and say, what are you doing? Like, why would you do that? Or, just kind of like just checking in. So it's real cool.